Okay. So you can see the screen now?
No, sir.
You can't see the screen?
No, sir.
It says
No, sir.
you have paused screen sharing.
It's just saying has started screen sharing, but nothing is visible.
Let me just see.
I can see the screen.
Yeah, I also I can see the screen.
Okay, you guys, you refresh, then some people are able to see it, some are not. So what's the problem? I'm moving this screen
Okay,
now.
sir. I'll try.
No, it's not moving.
It's not moving.
It's not moving.
Strange. Can you do one thing?
Yes, sir.
How many students can see the screen moving now? I'm moving it from top to bottom. Wait, why it
Can't
is?
see.
Can you see it moving now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
What's strange?
After refreshing also we can't see.
Say again?
I've left and joined again, but then also I can't see the screen.
Yes, sir. Same.
Just a moment. There must be some issue. Okay, let me just share this screen. Wait. Let me figure it out. Some cinema part and Bollywood. Okay. Now there is a Vishal Bhardwaj over here, and now let me just stop screen sharing and let me now share the screen. Okay. Now it should be visible. Can you see this Vishal Bhardwaj over there, black and white
Yes,
photograph?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Now you can see, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anybody
Yes,
who's
sir.
not
Now it's visible.
Now it is visible? Yeah, it was green thing should come, so it is coming now. Okay. So sometime these technical glitch happens, so never mind. Just give me a moment. Today I have shared some technical questions I prepared through ChatGPT and other places. So also for direction, for acting, as well as for cinematographers and direction acting cinematographer. Yes. So similar kind of brain you also have to apply for yourself. I will not apply for all the time for you because you people are going to appear in the entrance exam, not Naresh Sharma. Okay. So figure it out how you can remember these names. Some names are strange for you because you are watching them first time. For me, I'm familiar with these names for last 35 years. So for me, it is easy. Hollywood is a little tough because you hardly hear them except 5 to 7 names. But examination point of view, since they're going to be technical question, some question related to national award winner or Oscar winner from the cinematography would definitely come. For direction people also, I have shared roughly around 50 questions related to Oscar and Cannes Film Festival directors and national award. So these three are the different category where technical question for direction student can come. Probably I was thinking also what other question can come for direction student. It could be about some vocabulary related to filmmaking, like clap or I don't know, some vocabulary related to filmmaking. They can ask this question. Like I can formulate a question related to clap, not one, but just 6 to 7 important points are there when using the clap. Continuity, they can ask any question related to continuity. What is continuity sheet? In which what kind of things are being mentioned over there? Similarly, for cinematography, also there is a cinematography continuity sheet where what exactly you write in the cinematography continuity. So all those kind of question can come. For acting people, I have shared enough number of questions just now. If you people keep sleeping, nothing would happen.
Sir, I
Ah,
have a doubt. I have
बोलिए.
a doubt. In terms of technical questions, I was going through a few questions from previous year papers. There was this one question about props, and I had a confusion. Do props come under production design or art
Yes, very
director?
much. See, comes under what?
Production design or art director? What head manages
They are the
props?
same name. They are the same name for the same thing. Earlier, it
Okay.
used to be called the art director, art direction. Now they call it as a production design. Production
Okay.
design and art direction is the same thing.
Okay. So if this question comes in MSQ, we have to tick both answers, right?
Nowadays, MSQ is over. Kindly wake up. kindly wake up. MSQ, read the prospectus carefully. MSQ is over. This particular year, read the prospectus. It says 60 question MC, 60 marks MCQ. Each question carry 2 marks.
Okay,
Are
so
you
if
able
it
to
comes in
understand?
MCQ, which one would be a more
Yeah,
correct
so it will
option?
come under MCQ, but they have not defined how many MCQ would be there. That's a vagueness. So
But once again, sir, but if both options are there in the question, which would be the correct one?
what option? It
Uh,
cannot. It cannot be.
okay,
It cannot be.
okay.
See, your name at home is Chintu. In college, they call it as Sunil Malhotra. Chintu and Sunil Malhotra is same. As simple as that. It's a
Okay.
different nomenclature only. That's it. It's a
Sir,
different.
can I ask one more thing?
Please.
Sir, previous year question paper, they were like for direction, cinematography, and screenwriting. The first half of the question were same for everyone, right? Like MCQs and MSQs were same for.
MCQ, not same, not same. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It may happen that, let's say, for example, there are 20 MCQs. 15 can be similar for everyone, 5 could be different. Even MCQ. Like there was a question in cinematography, MCQ was who made the painting called Bride's Toilet? Now, that particular year, this question was only in a cinematography section, not for anybody. Do you
Okay, sir.
understand?
So each and
Because
every.
FTI believe that cinematographer should know more about paintings.
Yes,
Not
sir.
necessarily directors should know, editors should know, sound recorders should know. So they put that question over there while this question of MCQ was not anywhere else.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir, because for.
there could be possibility that 50% MCQ are same, 50% MCQ are different.
Okay, sir. So they
Clear?
will so they will distribute the question paper according to the.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay,
According
sir.
to who is appearing in which course.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So this MCQ is again limited to here, but it is still a very vast. I thought what to cover today. It was quite a job for me to figure it out what exactly is important, what is not. So this is little tricky, but we have to figure it out some mechanism or other. So we will start with this section called okay. The Hindi cinema, Bollywood. There was always some sensible part in Hindi cinema also, even if we hate the Bollywood for whatever reason, but it also has a sensible part. Okay. So I have picked up some questions related to that. I will not read out every question, but some questions which are very important. Who made the large puppet in song Bismil in Vishal Bhardwaj Heather? I had already mentioned probably it was Dadi Padamji. So Dadi Padamji is based in Delhi, graduate from Sweden in puppetry, and he is the leader in terms of puppetry, modern puppetry at least. Okay, Prakash Jha's Pariniti is based on a short story by the author Vijay Dandetha I was talking about yesterday. This could be the possible question. Uh, Film based on some short story. So you may not have heard about this Pariniti, but it was Prakash Jha's film. Long back, he did it for television. That's why I remember. A friend of mine also acted in that. That was another reason to remember it. So Vijay Dandeta, as I told you, is a very important writer from based in Rajasthan. Manikal's film is also based on his. So this Mrignani is not that important. Mistress of Spies. Okay. As everybody knows that Aishwarya Rai acted in that particular film. So sometime some important film like that could be asked. If you do not know, then you should know, particularly people from South, they may not have seen these Hindi films, so it becomes important. Again, the Biraj Bahu is important film by Bimal Roy, but the question is something else. Who directed the film Bimal? Oh yeah, okay, Biraj Bahu. It is the Bimal Roy only. Okay, Panchlat, I was mentioning yesterday the three important writer from Bihar. One of them is Phaneshwar Nath Renu, and Panchlat is his most famous story. Most famous story is Panchlat. In theater, many a times people have done it, So Panchlat was directed, got also made into the cinema finally by this gentleman called Prem Prakash Modi, and a very, very important film if you have not seen in terms of adaptation. If you read the story and try to do the adaptation of a story is tough because story need to be stretched. So this is a wonderful adaptation of the Panchlat. If you ever get a time to uh, uh, watch it, do it. The sevens, leave it. Okay. Why this I have included this Swami thing? Because it was Manu Bhandari who wrote the screenplay for Swami. It is a story also by Manu Bhandari also. And she also written the screenplay for that particular film. Basu Chatterjee has collaborated with the, what do you call, uh, on various projects with the, so Swami is basically not the story by Manu Bhandari. It is the Sharat Chandra Chatterjee story which she adapted. She was the script writer, not the what do you call original writer. So Sharat Chandra is the answer for this. Earlier it was Manu Bhandari, but this is wrong. Why it is two again? Oh, it is a screenplay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Screenplay and dialogue. Yeah, it's not a complete writer. Screenplay and dialogue by was Manuji and written by originally based on the Sharat Chandra Chatterjee. Manuji has also done screenplay for a TV series where this writer called, yesterday we were discussing Tendulkar, Priya Tendulkar. Priya Tendulkar acted in that. It was a very popular serial in my time. So, just to mention that. Which of the following film does not have the Khalid Mohammed as a scriptwriter? Now, Khalid has done a couple of films for Shyam Benegal. So, Nishant, everybody knows, is an old film of Shyam Benegal. Sometime you can apply the common sense and can sort out the answer. So, Nishant is out of the context. So, this is incorrect. As I said, the Benegals question can be asked. So you might find some of the question connected with the Sham Benegal in this series. So that was one reason why I also selected. So the film Rajnigandha starring Amol Palekar and Vidya Sinha is based on a Hindi novel called Yahi Sach Hai. Again, why this again inclusion? Because of the Manu Bhandari. It is based on the novel by Manu Bhandari. Sorry, short story, not the novel. Yahi Sach Hai is not a novel, is a short story basically. This is the correction is required here. So Rajnigandha was also a silver jubilee film of that time. So you need to remember there was a time when Amol Palekar has three consistent film acting student. Remember, three consistent films of the Amol Palekar were silver jubilee, and Rajnigandha was one of them. So this is again reverse of the same can be on that. It is a short story, longish kind of a story, not a novel, but longish kind of a story. Okay, so that's one. Then MK Rana, which film can be briefed as the story about Sanjay, who is ticket collector at the railway station, played by MK Rana, who meets a young girl, Shalini, played by Raki, an LIC employee on train. Why I have included this film? Because 27 Down was a film which got the National Award for Best Cinematography for A.K. Bir, and the director of this film is also graduate from FTI. 27 Down. Who composed the music of Avatar Krishna called 27 Down? Why this question is being included? Because sometimes these classical people, Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia kind of people, compose the music. So that's why I included, but not that important a question. Again, why there's two categories? Because best cinematography I have told you, but it was also a best feature film of that particular year. So best feature film in Hindi and best cinematography. So these are the two categories for which it got the national award. Okay. So 27 Down, again another question. 27 Down is a 1974 Hindi film written by, directed by Avatar Krishna called starring this. MK Rana is based on a novel, what it is. Now, sometime these kind of questions become tricky because they are not the popular author and these are things are never being talked about. So, such kind of question can also come. It is by Ramesh Bakshi. So, correct answer is this one. This is little tricky question, but tricky can be asked over there. You can't say I don't know. If you don't know, then you lose 2 marks. And if you give the correct wrong answer, then 2.5 marks. This is another challenging thing. So, in which of the following film Nagesh Kukunur has acted himself? Sometime he act also in some films, small, not small character, but main character also. So, in Three Diwane he also acted. Which of the following films Nagesh Kukunur has Jackie Shroff? Now, this is not that important question. So, Nasun Shah is an important one. 19, question number 19. Which of the following film Nagesh Kukunur star Nasun Shah? So, Three Diware is another one. Again, we have there is a. This is also not that important. We'll go to the quick important questions. English language film made by Nandita Das. Okay, now this could be a potential question. Sometimes some films are not popular, but you should know the names of. So it's called Rockford. I have seen this film, so that's another one. Which film by Nagesh Kukunur has Girish Karnad as an actor? Now Girish Karnad has acted also in as an important character in Ashia. Which of the following films? Hello. Door is also another film in which he has acted. So, since the options are not given, so you need to remember the option and then you need to figure it out. In which of the following films, Nagesh, it is also not important. Forget about this. Okay, this children film is important, 25, because that was shown in the Berlin. It's called Dhanak. It's a best children film in 2016 and also screened at the Berlin Film Festival. Okay. Now coming to Shekhar Kapoor, because this year he has got the award also and he was the chairman of the FTI. So anything connected with Shekhar Kapoor is important. One of the famous films is Bandit Queen. So everybody knows it's based on the life of Phulan Devi. Who played the title character in Shekhar Kapoor's Bandit Queen? Again, everybody knows this was a popular Seema Bishwas film. So Seema Bishwas is the correct answer. Why I included the Who Shot the Rock Star? Because it is FTI graduate Anil Mehta is the correct answer for this. Again, Bandit Queen, Shekhar Kapoor was started by a foreigner and then later on it was Ashok Mehta who took over. So Ashok Mehta is the correct answer. Okay. Coming to again Girish Karnad, I have told you that not just a playwright but also he is an actor and acted in various films. So again, but the question is something else. Who shot Girish Karnad's Utsav? Girish Karnad directed this film. Girish Karnad directed this film called Utsav and it's shot by Mr. Ashok Mehta. This was the film in which first time HMI lights were used. It is just for the knowledge of for cinematography student, not otherwise. ये अपना अपना माइक लीजिए ये आवाज जो आ रही है मुस्कान सोनी जरा अपना माइक बंद कर लीजिए प्लीज ठीक है ये सब लोग अपना माइक बंद करो यहाँ से सब लोगों का माइक से आवाज आएगा तो इट विल बी डिस्टर्बिंग फॉर एवरीवन सो इट इज नॉट ए गुड थिंग earlier yesterday it was a headache in my place anyway again the 32 Grish Karnad Utsav is based on a famous play Sanskrit writer. Now this is a bit tricky. I told you yesterday also Mrch Katingam is the play by Shudrak. This question of Shudrak can also be asked. It's a because the film is also being made on it. Now you know the reason why it is more important because the film is also made. So Mrch Katingam is the answer. Sanskrit play, very often performed in India by many people. So, who directed the erotic this tale? This Grish Karnad, as we know. Okay. Now, this Raji question is again important because it is based on Harindra Sikka's novel. So, it can also be asked. Sometime you may not be bothered about it, but these commercial films which are sensible, Meghna Guljar is much better a director in Bollywood than a lot of nonsense people around. And there is always some good story and sensible thing. ये बार बार लोगों का आवाज आ रहा है मुस्कान सोनी जी थोड़ा मेहरबानी करिए हम पे थोड़ा कृपा करिए हाँ जी again Raji ka another way of asking this thing wait based on a novel earlier we just tell the name of the writer we didn't ask you the novel is what exactly is the novel so here the novel is called Calling Samat. There is two ways one is based on a novel name is can be asked and sometimes they can ask the name of the author who did the novel. So let me see if there is an image. It is always a good idea to check the image. So this is the image. You could see how it looked like. And also I'll show you this guy. I think I have the image here. Okay, this is the not very high resolution photograph, but still it's okay. Okay. Seema Vishwas is also has created a niche for herself, not as a main lead character, but again, so which of the following film does not have Seema Vishwas in it? Fire, she did not act in it, into it. Rest of the film she acted. So Fire is the odd one out. Okay. So this is not a very talked about film of the Shekhar Kapoor, but again, I saw this film in Bombay Festival, some Mami or something like that. So Shekhar Kapoor's Four Feather is based on a novel of the same name. So who is the novelist? So A.E. Masson is the correct answer for this. A tricky question, but can be asked because it's Shekhar Kapoor. And this particular year, Shekhar is more important because of the Padma Award. So again, another question the Shekhar Kapoor. For which of the following films did Shekhar Kapoor receive a national award as a director? Bandit Queen, he received the national award for a director. So well-known question, but again, you should know, otherwise you get confused. Because he also directed the Masoom. So sometime it could be confusing if the option is Masoom and Bandit Queen, and if you really do not know, then you are stuck. So which of the following Shekhar Kapoor film won an Oscar award for Best Makeup in 1999? So again, Bandit Queen, all these films are there, but not every film goes to the Oscar. So it was Elizabeth, which was makeup for 1999. Okay, so who's the screenwriter of Yash Chopra's Kabhi Kabhi? Why I have included this question? Because it's very often the scriptwriter's name is not mentioned on the poster, but this was a poster where it was mentioned very categorically, written by Sagar Saradi. So Sagar Saradi has done the screenplay for this film. Not very often is written the writer's name. You might find it in little small those 5 lines at the bottom or 4 lines at the bottom. Sagar Saradi has directed one important film, just to mention. It's called Bazaar, which was made on a shoestring budget. And the best thing of that film is that lyrics were not written. It was composed poetry of, it was poetry written many years by various authors. He picked up those poets and Khayyam composed the music. And one or two was by Shahriyar, if I'm not mistaken, but most of the poetry he picked up by famous authors. So that was one of the unique thing about the Bazaar, and of course, a commercial success is another thing. Again, I'm coming to the Masoom I was mentioning. So who's the script writer of the Masoom? Now this could be a tricky one. I'll give you a little history also why it's Gulzar, not himself Shekhar Kapoor. Gulzar actually wanted to do a feature film based on Manu Bhandari's novel called Aapka Bunty. But somehow the deal didn't stuck. Something went wrong, and he did not directed that film. But the idea remained in his mind. So if you have read the novel called Aapka Bunty, there is a scene in which they sit across the table and they say कि अच्छा अच्छा सब लोग अपनी अपनी chair fix कर लो. That dialogue Guldar has picked up from the Aapka Bunty, but it is not a copy, I would say. It is a paying a tribute to Manu Bhandari. So since I happens to know Manuji very closely, so that's why I knew this thing. So Masoom is Gulzar, not the Shekhar Kapoor. Don't commit the mistake. This is a tricky question. Could be asked because this year again Shekhar is in the limelight because of the Padma Award. Again, Silsila is again by Sagar Saradi. It's the same thing, written by so and so, directed by so and so. Music directors' names are generally mentioned, not the screenplay writer. So these two films, Yash Chopra was generous enough to give due credit to a writer. Otherwise, writers are always considered as sideline one. Again, yeah, this is not that important. Okay, Bazaar, we have already told you who directed the Bazaar, Sagar Saradi. Okay, Obik Mukhopadhyay generally worked with the Shujit Sarkar. So, Madras Cafe was the film in which Obik Mukhopadhyay was not there. Rest of these films are by Obik Mukhopadhyay. Again, Obik is a 3-time National Award winner. We have discussed yesterday this point with the cinematography people, I think, in their class. So again, it is one of the sensible director working in a Bollywood and doing a different kind of work. Which of the following films of the Sudhir Sarkar does not have Nihar Ranjan Samal as a sound designer? Pikku Nihar did not. Nihar and uh, his partner who does the film both together work. Nihar does the location sound and that another guy, I'm forgetting his name. They work together. Both are national award winner. So Nihar did not do the Pikku. Cannot be asked, but I just put it over there. Okay, Bishwadeep Chatterjee and Nihar are the people who work together. So Bishwadeep is another one. So which of the following film of Sudhir does not have the Sudeep Chatterjee as a sound designer? It is Gulabo Sitabo. He's not in that. Okay. This 48 is important for some other reason because this is the first film where the Atmos sound was used. Because you are not sound recordist guys, but it should know for a general knowledge that question number 48 is important because Madras Cafe is the one which got the Atmos sound system. It is a system in which on the top you feel the sound. If raining is happening, then sound you will hear from top. If some missile goes above your head, then you feel. If some arrow goes, so that is the Atmos sound system. So Atmos is also a recorder kind of a gadget by a company. So don't get confused with that Atmos and this Atmos. They sound like same, but they are different. So which of the following film based Sri Lankan civilian grab a national award for best photography? Again, the Madras Cafe. And also I told you the uniqueness of Madras Cafe is that it has a Atmos sound system. Again, which of the following film did Sudhir Sarkar receive a national award? Vicky Donor is the film. And everybody knows it's one of the amazing film which he has directed at that point when nobody was attempting those kind of subject. And I remember this Indian based in UK who well-known director, I'm just forgetting her name, lady director. So she was appreciating in some conference about this film, Vicky Donor. And that's how I thought I should also watch because when it was released, I did not see it, but it is really amazing a film. Again, I'm Anurag Kashyap because of this is the first film which was also banned when it was released. So Black Friday was quite a controversial. So this could be asked that who is the writer or no, sorry, novelist on which it is based. So Hussain Zaidi is the person. If I'm not mistaken, I should have the picture also. Let me just quickly see. Okay, this is the poster, not very interesting. This is the guy who look like. So sometimes some pictures are not easily available on the internet, but you have to manage. Anyway, again, Gulzar, I always think is one of the rare director in Indian film industry who is considered as arty director in commercial cinema. When first time one of my batchmates, Shivinder Singh Dungarpur, who worked with Gulzar also, when he said that, I did not understand what he mean. But later on, I realized that most of his work is very artistic in nature. It is done in a commercial format, but again, there is a song, there is a music, there is a performance, everything is there, but still some of his later work particularly are very distinguished. So which of the following is not a documentary by Gulzar? Gulzar has also done a few documentaries. So Koshish is the feature film everybody knows. Amjad Ali Khan, he has done a documentary. So Guldar's Masoom and Andhi are based on the story. Now this is a tricky question, but those people who knows the background, Kamleshwar is one of the famous Hindi literature person who has worked with these two films. Again, these are the story by Kamleshwar. Those people who do not know Kamleshwar but have been watching the 26 January, the voiceover of 26 January for many years, it was Kamleshwar for everybody. So that's 52 question number. So Kamleshwar, we discussed yesterday one of his novel also, which is much more well known. So this can be a question again connected with Guldar versus. So this is not a very popular story, but Mere Apne is based on a story by Indra Mitra. So I just added because it is Gulzar. Again, Guljar's. It is little strange that Guljar normally write his own story also, but at the same time he do take the other people's story. So Guljar's Achanak is also based by Khwaja Ahmad Abbas. Again, literature plus cinema. So bit tricky, but that's the way it is. At least Guljar, you should know after Satyajit Ray, anyone whose work is based on somebody else. Background music will not be asked, Salil Chaudhary basically, but it will not be asked. Okay, yeah, this is also not important. Okay, so question number 57. Which of the only Hindi film of Guljar that starred Bengali actor Uttam Kumar? So everybody knows it is Kitab. Let me just show you the poster if we have, so it becomes easy to remember. Okay, so this is the film. Everybody can identify this actress, Vindhya Sinha. So this is the Uttam Kumar has also done a couple of more films in Indian context, but somehow his films remain very lukewarm, not very blockbuster kind of thing. But in West Bengal, he is considered as one of the most celebrated actor among Bengali cinema. So coming back to 58, Guljar's Parichya is based on a Bengali novel called Rangeen Uttarayan. Who is the novelist? Now, this is a little tricky question. Rajkumar Mehta is the answer for it. Difficult question, but sometime some crazy person can put it. Okay. Khushbu is another popular film by Gulzar, based on a novel called Pandit Mashai. Again, a Bengali name, but it is a well-known author called Sharat Chandra Chattopadhyay. So, name is Bengali, but the author is also popular among Hindi belt also. So, anything which is popular among Hindi belt can be asked even if the original thing is Bengali, because that would have been translated at some point or other in Hindi also. So, coming to the question number 60, Guljar's Kitab is based on a story of Patik. Who is the author? So again, Samresh Basu is the author, and this Kitab thing I have already shown you. Let me just show you once again. This is the poster. Sometime it happens that I still do not know how he got fascinated with these Bengali authors and adapted them into Hindi thing. But maybe because of the Rakhi, Gulzar was Bengali lady. So sometime it happened that if your wife is from Bengal, she knows much more about the literature than you know it. So again, coming to the 61, which is Masoom. Masoom, written by Gulzar, directed by whom? Shekhar Kapoor. We all know one of the brilliant film, which is also have little commercial. This was the first film of Nasruddin Shah which I saw on the cinema hall, and those kind of film were never released in those time, but this film was released maybe because the songs were also interested, and this children song was very popular. Lakdi ki kathi kathi pe ghoda were very popular. In those days, radio was very, people used to listen to the radio, and very often you see this children song on the radio. So, which of the following film Gulzar star Bengali actor Suchitra Sen? Now, Suchitra Sen did not do many films in India, in Hindi films, but whatever films she has done, she is very renowned and very sophisticated actress. Andhi is the film which is based on, people say that it is picked up from the Mrs. Gandhi's life, political life. So, there was some controversy also at that time when it was released. So, Ijazat is an important film based on a Bengali story called Jatu Griha, who is the author. Subodh Ghosh is the name. So, sometime these kind of question can also be asked. Only because I have picked up this is a Gulzar's film, and not by any other person. If it is a Gulzar, then definitely it becomes important because he's also a highest award in India, Dasa Phalke winner. So anything connected with Gulzar can be asked.
And also,
So
sir, he received Gyanpith Award in
who
2024.
who received the Gyanpith?
Gulzar.
Yes, yes, because his collection of poetry, particularly, is also very well acknowledged in Hindi literature. Very few people who has been writing songs for ages for others. At the same time, he's a director and scriptwriter himself. Not many people does that, but he was always interested in writing the songs. But the problem of his songs are that they cannot be composed by everyone. They are very, very tricky and very difficult to compose. So that's why not many people are interested in asking him to write the thing. So 64 is not that important. 65 is Libas, uh, based on a story called Seema. So, who's the author? Again, Guldar himself wrote the story for that. So, don't get confused with other people's name, even if you find it. Namkeen is also a popular film and based on a story called Akal Basant, and it is Samrish Basu again. Okay, Guldar's Angur is one of my favorite film as a kid. Kid means I was roughly around in my 10th or 11th at that time. I saw this film 3 times in cinema hall and I laughed always whenever I went to see this film. And again, it's based on Shakespeare and it is the influence of Gulzar that Vishal Bhardwaj has adapted three well-known plays of the Shakespeare. So the influence come with the kind of person you interact with or consider you as a mentor. So Angur is a film, comedy of errors. This can be asked because it is Shakespeare. Again, Vishal Bhardwaj we were talking about. So Blue Umbrella is a not well-known film, but again it is based on a Ruskin Bond's story. So this is a tricky question which can be asked because it is connected with the Vishal Bhardwaj and Ruskin Bond everybody knows is well-known in India. So Vishal Bhardwaj's Maqbool is based on a play by Shakespeare. What is the play? Macbeth everybody knows. Again, Omkara is also, this could be a confusion between these two plays. So Omkara is based on Othello. So how do I remember that I connect O with O? Omkara start with O and Othello start with O. So confusion is over. Both O means they are the one which you can link. Earlier one, Maqbool, that O business is not a confusion.
Sir, for Heather, it is also same. Hamlet, Heather, HH.
Yeah. So 3 films are important. I think I would have included that also. Yeah, here is the header now. So question number 71. As I said, the most of the work of Vishal Bhardwaj are, except the first film, which was for Children Film Society. So again, the Hamlet is the answer for this one. So 3 important films by Vishal Bhardwaj based on Shakespeare work. And the interesting thing is, if you do not know they are based on Shakespeare, they look completely Indian in the Indian sense of the term, you know. So that's beauty of that film, of his work. They don't look like Shakespeare kind of thing. He changes the background, he changes everything and merges them in Indian context so that you feel strongly for those things. Now this again, Saat Khun Maaf is based on Susanna's seven husband. Again, the Ruskin Bond is also quite fascinated with that. So this is the correct answer for 72. Again, Vishal Bhardwaj, Pataka. This is a tricky one because it's not a well-known author. And Charan Singh Pathik story on which this film is based called Pataka. Let me just show you quickly the image if I have. This is the poster and this is the author. He look like this. Sometime it is a good idea to, now these are the questions which I have not given the alternative sometime because sometime you just need to mug up few things, you know. So just to avoid that time consuming thing, though ideally it should have so that you can also check whether your answer is correct or not. So from exercise wise, so I'm just skipping till it is these are national award films of the previous year, not that important. So 2019, 201, again, these are the previous 1 years. I think those questions will be also connected with. Okay. Which among the following, this is an interesting question. We also had this similar question over there about MF Hussain. And Through the Eye of a Painter is a documentary and Color of Absent and all that is not. Dance of the Wind is by Rajan Khosa. It is a film he directed. So since I mentioned over here Dance of the Wind, so let me just tell you the name of the director. Rajan Khosa is a FTI graduate who has done 2, 3 more films also. So sometime if they ask who is the director of this Dance of the Wind, so don't get confused with some Western guy. Uh, It's an Indian guy called Rajan Khosa and graduate from FTI Pune. Rajan Khosa's father was a architect, just to give you some background. Okay. This question is a tricky because it is a Brajeshwar Madan. Brajeshwar Madan was never a popular critics, but he wrote for Filmi Kaliyan for 30 years. He wrote alone, one person who wrote the magazine, entire magazine, Madan Saab. And he was, when he was alive, he was also a trustee of our film school, craft film school. So we were very good friend. I have a collection of his articles, which is kind of a institution in themselves. If you really wanted to understand the writing on cinema, how brilliantly he has written, nobody could touch his style of writing and the depth he would write. So he also got he has 3, 4 books on short stories to his credit, plus one book on cinema. Cinema is the book. Not easily available, but if you can try, you can find it out. Anyway. Okay, Farooq Dondi was basically why it is important because he was Channel 4 commissioning editor. So he was a commissioning editor for the Channel 4. Bandit Queen he commissioned for Bobby Bedi. Again, Bandit Queen, Bobby Bedi, script writer of the. Okay, he also wrote the script for the thing. Uh, Not exactly, but co-scripting. So, question is which among the following is false about Farooq Dondi? So, commissioning editor for BBC, produced by Bobby Bedi. That is correct. This question is not correctly formulated. Which among the following is false? Because he was commissioning editor. He was Bandit Queen, produced by this. This question need to be formulated, but point which I wanted to mention was he was famous because he commissioned many films for uh, Bobby Bedi. Will not be asked, but I just put it just for the general knowledge sake. You should know his name. Okay, we will go into the painting documentary we have covered. I wanted to find out that painting section. Where is that painting section? Dance, literature, painting is here. Okay. I will not cover everything. I will just pick up this very famous 100 international paintings. This you should know because I have always a feeling that they can always pick up any painter. Indian painter, they have asked many a times. As I told you that Amrita Shergill's painting, they asked with a cinematography student. But internationally also on and off, particularly for a direction student, if you remember Rene Magritte's The Lover, they ask to discuss that painting because it is a surrealistic painting. So they ask, they can ask. That's why this 100 thing I picked up. Rest you may skip. Those who have interest, they can check it at later time. But 100 you should be able to. So this third class carriage is painted by Domier. This is also, as I told you, my criteria of choosing these 100 painting is not by various websites who consider them. I picked up around 10 websites who consider the top 100 paintings. But beside that, I put another criteria to choose these painting was that is this particular painting is being used for coming out with a stamp by any country. That was my criteria, which is a little strange criteria to figure it out. Because if a painting is being used as for coming out with a stamp, that too by a different country, it means that painting is really, really important. I've also included some Indian guys also. So Raja Ravi Verma, Tilotma, everybody knows. This is the most famous painting. Then woman holding a fruit is again Raja Ravi Verma. Everybody knows this. I think this is the most famous Indian painting. I have seen it at many houses. I don't know how, but somehow it is. Okay. Now this yellow, red, blue. This is a particular style of this painter called Kandinsky, Vasily Kandinsky, and all his painting look like that. But they look like that, but they are different. So this is since these three colors name are included, yellow, red, and blue. So I included this painting, and obviously this is also famous. Again, you could see this five musicians. Name you have to remember. Name is very important. Sorry, three musicians, not five. Five is number. So three musicians. This is most one of the three famous painting of Picasso, and could be asked. Again, this Son of Man is a little strange painting, but that's the way Rene Magritte is known for. Rene Magritte's lover was asked in direction batch in one particular year to discuss around 10 marks or something like that. Okay, this Flower Carrier is also a very famous painting by Diego Rivera, and Diego Rivera was married to Frida Kahlo, who was also a well-known painter in her own rights, but just to give you the connection. So Diego Rivera's only painting I have included. This is again, if we would talk about this particular painting, if we need to choose 50 important painting, the Henry Rousseau's painting would come among those 50 painting also. I also did a little research for a few number of hours about top 50 paintings. Then I always found that Sleeping Gypsy of the Rousseau is one such painting. Now, this particular Sistine Madonna is that important a painting that last year those people who have failed in cinematography exam, doesn't matter, but this painting was asked to discuss. Okay, so tomorrow I will share the thing with you guys. So I have collected all these questions, so I would share with you people the cinematography question paper. So they discuss Madonna into different painting comparative study. So now this is Raphael. Now this is another most talked about painting called The Scream. Everybody knows the answer. So Edward Munch is the correct answer for it. Again, I told you when, I don't know with whom we were discussing, this night watch, yeah, with a cinematography student, this is one of the large size painting, which is by Rembrandt in and if you see the original painting, it will be a good idea to just to have a look at it. Again, you could see a lot of darkness and some brightness at the two spots only, and the three that is some lady or little girl is there. So again, kind of a source lighting is another example of lighting techniques. So it could also become important to ask. Now this is the harvesters. Also, I have found many of the website including, and it's good idea to see this Bruegel's painting little larger. So here you could see somebody is relaxed, somebody is working, and lot of detail is there in this painting. Even in the background, if you see the some more high resolution image of this, you could see much more detail even in the background what is happening over there, and the kind of depth he has created is another thing through also a kind of aerial perspective. You see the background. So Bruegel is the correct answer. Name you have to remember, the harvesters, because there the image will not come. The name will come and you need to remember, because the way this is Bride's Toilet. Now Bride's Toilet painting was not shown in that particular year. So you need to remember these names. So the Night Cafe is again Van Gogh's famous painting. Again, this is the Meadow of San Isidro is a little difficult here to watch it, but it is a Goya's painting. Let me just enlarge this for you to watch it. Now you could see how much is the detail in the background with the so many characters over there, and kind of a cinemascope composition. So this is also being used not only once by 2-3 different countries as a stamp. So again, Goya is the answer. Film is also made, feature film on the Goya's life. I have included that into the section over here. The painters on whose life feature film is being made. Now, this is when it comes to a Japanese painter. This is one of the famous painting of this waves, the great wave of Kanagawa, and the person is called Hokushai. The Fortune Teller is among again 50 paintings you would get to see here and there. and it's quite a funny painting. I have seen it on a cover of some 100 painters, top painters of the Europe or something like that, where this particular painting was used, and is George de la Tour is the painter. And let me just enlarge it so that you can see now. This lady is picking the pocket of this person, and somebody is picking, showing the gold coin, and eyes movement of various people. This lady is looking at this, he's looking at her. So this is very strange but interesting painting. And you could also feel the lighting over there, that key light and fill light kind of a thing. So many painters try to do that. And the fortune teller is again kind of famous painting. Starry Night, everybody knows the Van Gogh, the way these circular kind of thing comes over there. This red balloon is also stylized painting by this man called Paul Klee. Paul Klee is again a renowned painter. So this red balloon is, I have included this painting, though he has many more to his credit. This large bather is also Paul Cézanne. The spelling, there is a little mistake. Let me just enlarge this. So you could see this painting, which has not so many colors, but it two, three different kind of colors are being used for this painting. Again, this boy with a pipe is also Picasso's work. And very often I have seen this people using uh, into various websites where they consider that top 10 painting of Picasso or something like that. So again, this nude descending a staircase is Marshal Duchamp. Again, when we were discussing with the cinematography student, I mentioned about that one of the name which was not there in that movement of art where the pop art was more popular. So again, this is the only painting I have included here, not other work of this guy. So everybody knows this Metamorphosis is Salvador Dali. Let me just show you a large version of this. This is how it looked like. Again, this Mademoiselle of Avignon, the brothel of Avignon, it is an English translation. It is again the Picasso's painting. Let me just enlarge you. So one could see again that some prominent color, not this color scheme is also important when the painter, somebody was asking me, I don't know who was asking one of the student, how to appreciate a painting. So color palette is one criteria, what kind of color palette person use. So you could see some uh, pastel color and brown is the major color, and then in between you see this bluish kind of a thing, light blue, darkish, not dark in that sense, pastel kind of blue. So color scheme could be one thing you can discuss. Now this is one of my favorite painting. Why I don't know, but prayer before the meal. If you look at it carefully, there are small things over there. These kitty pitty is sitting over there, and then another kid is there, and then you see this small thing. So very often I have seen this painting. Then I try to find some high resolution image of this, and there's a lot of detailing is being done over there. What you need to remember is Chardin. Jean-Simon Chardin is the correct answer for this. So here it is. There's a little mistake when we loaded this. Sometimes the error comes over there. Another famous painting is also Laundress. Now, I'll just enlarge this first so that you know what is happening over here. Now, if you could see that there's I think is a kind of mirror where the reflection of someone from outside hanging the clothes could be seen, and it could also be probably not the mirror actually. This is a door, and outside you could see that thing happening. Again, by the same guy, Chardin. Working class people, some people painted. So you need to remember. Hunters in the Snow is another well-known painting by the same guy, Pietro Bruegel, the Elder. There are two ones, so don't get confused. Paris Street Rain is another equally famous painting. And Caillebotte, Gustave Caillebotte is the painter. And you could see that perspective thing in the background of the image, because last year in cinematography they asked a tricky question with the perspective, and some four images were given, and some detail around 10 or 15 marks question was given over there. So Gustave Caillebotte is also a well-known painter, obviously. Okay, now this image by mistake is not been considered over here, but Metropolis, even as you know that there is also not the image would be given, so you need to remember. So Otto Dix is another important painter from Europe. I think he was from Germany, if I'm not mistaken. And Metropolis is very stylized kind of painting by this guy. Again, he is also being covered by this Taschen publication, which roughly around 1,000 rupees. You get a really hardbound, very well printing quality of the paper and all that. So Autodex is another important printer. Metropolis can be asked. Now again, this is famous painting by Vermeer. Vermeer has two famous painting you can see over here. This girl with a pearl ring is not a apparel, it's a pearl ring, pearl earring. And this another one, first one, the Allegria painting is also by Vermeer. Again, very important painter of the Europe. Let me just show you the little enlarged version of this painting. So this you could see the curtain and other thing. The painter making a painting of a lady standing at the window. After Mona Lisa, the most sought after and talked about painting is Girl with the Pearl Ring, and Vermeer is the painter. So this could be, if they just wanted to ask a popular painting after Madonna, they might ask this thing. Again, this is another famous painting by Picasso, and very huge painting in terms of the size, overall size also. Let me just show you. This could be a discussion painting for the cinematography student as well as direction student. So kindly go tomorrow and do some research on the history of this painting, why this painting he made, and what is so important about this. Right now, I don't want to waste the time because there are acting student also. Nobody will ask them describe the painting. So let's skip the discussion. Again, coming to Girl Before a Mirror. Again, the Picasso, you could see his style also. And remember the name, Girl Before a Mirror. Let me just enlarge this. Now, the Gypsy Girl is also a famous painting by Franz Hals is the name of the painter. And let me just enlarge this painting. I have included many other painting by this. There is a small thick book comes, you might have, if you go to some Chor Bazaar or somewhere. For many, many years, this series was popular, and I have bought one or two long back. But now this is also available on the internet, Amazon. It costs roughly around, I think, 400 or 500 rupees. And they have included around 120 painters. Some old, now it is no more published. So you will always get second hand used, those thin, around 30, 40 pages book about various painter to those who are interested. The quality of printing is very good. If you don't want to spend 1,000 rupees and just 300, 400, that series is equally good. So Gypsy Girl by Franz Hals is equally important. Now this is another well-known painting called Liberty Leading the People, and very big size painting. Again, Eugenie Delacroix is the painter. Let me just show you the full size. So you could see this image, how these people are carrying this gun and all that. Okay. So this Sunday afternoon is also well-known painting. Again, the same guy, Diego Rivera. Let me just enlarge this painting because there's a lot of details into that. You know, you could see how many people's over here, and quite a complicated to make in terms of scale as well as size. So Diego Rivera, two painting we have included, and this is the second one. Maybe one more also probably, but I'm not sure. So again, the famous The Balcony. So Edward Manet is the painter, and let me just enlarge it quickly. This is how it looked like. So you could see the color scheme also, how the painter uses the color scheme, which is a very, very important part when you discuss the any kind of painting. Color scheme is the first thing. Composition, these are standard format. Composition, color schemes, and style, whether it is a watercolor or whether it is oil. Style is also important, and style of the brush, that is another thing you can include. If you look at the painting of most of the painting of, let's say for example, Van Gogh, you see them carefully, the small rectangular strokes, small rectangular strokes. This La Manias is another important painting, and this is Spanish painter Diego Velázquez. Let me enlarge this. You should see this original painting in a more detail. A lot of things is happening in the background. What is there on the top and all that. So this dog is sitting. He himself is seen on the corner. This small one here. So Diego Velázquez is one of the most expensive painter of his time. His work is sold at a very, very costly price at that time. Very detailed work he has done. Again, coming to uh, Death of Marat is by Jacques Louis David, again a famous painter of his time, and we have included this painting. Death of Marat. Sometimes there could be a spelling mistake, so please ignore that. But you remember the sentence, that is more important from examination point of view. This is not a grammar of English honors or some class like that. So Death and Fire is again Paul Klee. Paul Klee is another stylish painter. Little strange paintings he has made, but somehow he is famous. Now this guy is again a very surrealistic kind of a painter, and again a very expensive painter, and many of his painting are being used by various countries as a stamp. So Giorgio da Circo is his name, and let me enlarge this thing. We could see this horse coming out here and all that. So the Red Tower is the name of this painting. Again, the Chirco, we have included this another painting. It's called Love Song. And again, you can see this ball and glove and this guy's head on the wall. A little strange kind of thing, and this industrial thing, some kind of in the background, and some factory or ball in the foreground, and then bit of cloud. So Chirco was also expensive. I don't know how, but again, an expensive painter of his time. Most of his work is very, very expensive. Again, this dance at the Molin Dalla Galette. Again, very, very complicated painting in terms of drawing. You can see so many people over there. And Jean Renoir, the famous French director, and Pierre Auguste Renoir was his father. So he's a famous painter of his time. So Renoir is the example. In order to confuse, they might put the Jean Renoir also. So don't get confused who's the painter and who's the director. So this Auguste Renoir is the father and Jean Renoir is the son. Okay, now this is again most of you knows. It's a mural part of the creation of Adam. Is again very famous, and Michelangelo is the correct answer. Coming to this studio. The studio is another little complex painting in terms of, you can see there is painting inside also, and the lady model is there. So Kubert Gustav is another painter of his time, and he made this painting. Again, many people have included this painting among the top 50. So the studio is something you need to remember, and it easy to remember also the studio. But again, connecting the name with Gustave Courbet is a little difficult if you have not seen the work. Best is always to pick up one guy and see a couple of his work, then you remember these French name and all that. Again, this I don't need to tell you. Cafe Terrace by Night is Van Gogh. Everybody would be able to answer this question. again, coming to one of the most celebrated women painter of her time is Artemisia Gentileschi. This Italian woman was most celebrated women, first women painter, I would say, who made an international mark in her career. So Judith and her maid servant with the head of Holferns. Let me just enlarge this. So again, a kind of source lighting she uses in her painting. You could see the shadow of her hand falling on the face. So again, one of the source lighting painter. She has done various painting or portrait of some big king and all that people over there in that time. Again, this 47 Annunciation by Leonardo. Little enlargement would help you to see the painting, what is happening over here. So again, you can feel the size and famous painting. Don't get confused by Rembrandt, because Leonardo's not so many work we have included. We have included only selected work. The purpose is only to crack the exam, not to make you wise enough. You should be able to become little aware of those things. Now, this is a Swedish painter, which I have included only two painting, I suppose, only one, this one. Andreas Zorn is the name of this person, and this particular painting is well known, and you could see this lady uh, in the field, and in the background also a lot of detail. Again, a well-known painter from Sweden. I think only painter from Sweden which I heard is Andreas Zorn. Not so many painters are known from there, but sometime it can happen. Country like France, Italy, Germany has many painters, but Sweden is not that famous for painting. Now, 49, again, important painting, a Burial at Ornans. Again, Gustave Courbet. We have always one more painting we have included of the same guy. So here you could also see a lot of people over here, and somebody is sitting over there, and then you see the dog. A cotton office in New Orleans. This cotton office thing is also Edgar Degas, who is known for basically dance kind of paintings. Most of his work is the dance painters. And this is another work which is a little different style and different subject. Subject style remains same, but subject is different. I'll just enlarge it for your benefit. You could see these people working over there in a cotton factory. So working class people are also being portrayed in the European countries. So coming to 51. Now this is again a detailed painting where you could see the foreground and background. There's something called perspective. Very often we have discussed this concept of perspective. What need to be discussed in the painting also, the perspective. If you see a painting in which perspective is there. So Edward Monet's painting, a bar at the Folies Bergère. So you could see this lady in the foreground, and then these bottles of champagne, and then you see the people in the background and all that. Again, next to it is back of the lady, maybe, and this white spot. If you see the enlarged version, then you can see better. But you need to remember the name only. The bar at the Folies Bergère. Okay. So Edward Manet is the painter for this. This music nonsense is going on. Just give me a moment. Okay, so coming to 20. Now, this is a very strange name. It's the longest name I have ever encountered of a painting. Where do we come from? What are we? And where are we going? If some longest name like that comes, so you need to remember it is Paul Gauguin. And painting is also very interesting. You could see a lot of things are going on over here. So this long philosophical name is important to remember, and very important painter of his time, Paul Gauguin. I've just included one only. Okay. This is also a little complex painting because so much is happening over here in terms of doing. So Paolo Veronese is the painter. and it's important to see the details. You could see how many peoples are having over here and kind of a feast going on. Okay. So again, this is when we were talking with a cinematography student, the pointillism style of painting. He introduced called George Seurat. Again, if you look at this thing, so much is happening over there. People are sitting and shade and light, and this point dot 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 thing is there. So remember this name, George Seurat. If I need to pick up one painting for the examination, which is popular at the same time, not everybody would know until unless you happens to heard this name. Sunday on La Grande Jetty is the painting which is my favorite because it has introduced a very unique style of painting at that time. Okay, this lady painter is very important. Not so many American painter has made it in the history of 100 painters. This Mary Cassatt is the one who is well known. There's a two more also coming up, but this little kiddie and having a kind of bath over there is a very interesting painting. And from different perspective also, you could see most of the paintings are the eye level. This is a little topish in terms of the angle also. So whenever you describe the appreciation, you describe from the angle also. If there is an angle, like in this painting, there is a particular angle. So Mary Cassatt is the lady painter from US. Now this 56 is a very realistic kind of a painter of his time. And if you see his work, is a very, very detailed work. Jean-Léon Gérôme is the painter. You could see the detailed in his work. And if you see this good resolution size, you would love it how detailed he has done it, the work. So detailing in the realistic format. Jean-Léon Gérôme is a famous one. So this painting is called Polis Verso. That is the name you need to remember. Again, the Gleaner is very interesting painting. And when we were talking about with the cinematography student, there are various movement in painting, and Jean-François Millet was a French painter who painted many working class people in his work. So some people focus on certain kind of people, some people focus on royal people, like Artemisia Gentileschi focused on the royal people. Most of her portrait are royal people because they were the patronage. This is another American painter which is included in the top 100 or top 50, I would say, is Grant Wood. And this is another famous painting from the, in terms of famous, in terms of people knowing about the painting. American paintings are not that popular. It is mainly the European people who have hijacked the painting domain, but some Americans have also made it. So this Grant Wood is one which could be asked. Okay. Now, this painting is another painting which is important from examination point of view. Note it down, ladies and gentlemen. The Bath of Venus. The Bath of Venus is the most celebrated painting of the time, and it's kept in the Italy. Florence is the city where the museum is located, and it's by Sandro Botticelli. Let me just enlarge this painting. Most celebrated painting in terms of detailing of this guy, Sandro Botticelli. This painting can also be asked in the examination. It is of that level in terms of the fame. Okay, so we'll move a little further. And again, the Sandro Botticelli we have included. Primavera, again, you could see a lot of things going on over here. Can you hear the music in the background, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Nothing.
Oh,
It's
very
all
good, very good, very good. So this is quite a crazy for me going on, but anyway, if you are not able to hear, that is more important. So this mic is really interesting that It just pick up my voice and not the surround sound voice. So we have covered the 60. We'll go to the again little further. I don't know why I have a feeling that painting question could come this particular year. Again, this painting lady with an Hermie is also famous and very well-known painter Leonardo da Vinci. Let me just show you the enlarged version. Okay, so 62. This is Mark Chagall. Again, a little strange painter, but I have included his paintings also because white crucifixion is could see this little detail. Now you could see the Jesus Christ here. So this is his style is also different, and some of his work is also being used as a stamp by many countries. So Mark Chagall is another painter. Then this rehearsal thing, and we already have told you that Edgar Degas is the painter. Most of his work is famous for the dancers. So the ballet thing, you could see it here, and the kind of, the color scheme he used. Color scheme is a very, very important part of painting. So this is the one. Again, this particular painting is I have included it because this Indian word is here. So George Clive and his family with an Indian maid. Okay. So I don't know why this person has used the Indian, and this is a famous painting, not because some Indian is there. I have included that because, but it is he's a famous painter, Joshua Renauld, and but somehow they use this Indian concept. Last year in cinematography, there is an Italian painter who has worked on the Indian mythologies of various characters from Indian mythologies, was given over there, and they asked. I never heard of that painter before that, but surprisingly, I discovered somebody put that guy over there. It was quite a crazy to choose someone very strange painter from God knows where he picked up. Anyway, sometimes people can pick up anything. They have all the right to do all crazy thing in their life. So again, John Constable is a painter. The Hay Vein. I'll just show you the painting again. Just give me a moment. Now this is the name you should be able to connect. Again, too much of a detail over there. So you need to remember the name. So the Hay Vein is by John Constable. Sometime I have mentioned the galleries also. But galleries are not that important because so many painting and so many galleries. How do you remember these gallery business? But sometimes they have asked in the past. That's why it become a little more important. So Velip Velikopon Bathur is by again Jean-Auguste Dominique, and is quite a long name. Jean-Auguste Dominique in Greece is in the Louvre Museum. So let me just quickly show you the painting also so that you remember. This is also quite a famous painting, though nude, but from the back side rather than the front. Again, this guy, just a moment. We have covered this Bathur. Okay. So 67 is, let me show you the painting first. Now this one is quite many of the places you would see this painting very often, and this pregnant lady and this little dog over there, sandals, in the background also there's a mirror. It's very, very complex in terms of the uh, content of the painting. And Jan van Eyck is the painter who is also a Dutch painter of his time and well-known painter of his time. Not that celebrity, but many Dutch painters also have done wonderful work. And this is a famous one because it's a portrait. So you need to remember the name is a family kind of surname, and Ernol Fini. Sometimes these names are difficult to remember, but this green thing you have to remember. This one is quite very often you see this work of that same guy. Okay, so why I have mentioned autumn rhythm number 30? Let me just see the painting first. No, this is a little crazy. Forget about it. Okay, again coming to 69. This is the fighter Temeri. Again, little different. This is a very typical style of this guy called Turner. So I have included two painting of this Turner over here among the famous one, the fighting Temeri, and there's another one also. Let me just figure it out. Which one is there? So Matisse we have also included, not so many, but this red interior still life on a blue table. Let me just show you this. Now this is a very typical Matisse style. Earlier also we have included one painting, and that's it. Out of these 101, I am going to sort out 50 for this 3-hour class, because 100 cannot include that. So I will rethink over this and share the video with you guys so that you can revise those things, because this painting business is a little tricky to remember, but you never know. I have this gut feeling that it can be asked. This Hans Holbein the Younger is also a well-known painter, and the ambassador is his amazing painting. Very often you will see this painting under the discussion, and little green is very prominent, and you could see this this rustic color kind of a coat he is wearing. So this ambassador painting is Hans Golben the Younger is a painter. Again, the artist studio we have covered. No, I think it is repeated. No. Oh yeah, it is repeated. That's why I say why it is again. Okay, so the Kiss, everybody knows who is the painter. Very famous painting of Gustav Klimt, and he when he works he uses gold as one of the prominent color. No, sorry, this is different guy. Huh. I think it is a mistake here. Different painting is being put up over here. Gustav Klimt should be there. This painting is wrong, and it is not the case. It is some other painting. So by mistake, somebody has. Okay, anyway, this is also a famous painter. I have included most of the time this painter painting over mention over here. He uses the fruits, he uses the trees and things like that. We will talk about this later on. But right now, this kiss is a wrong painting over here. The name kiss is with the Gustav Klimt. Sometimes mistake can happen when they load the painting. Sometimes the wrong painting is being loaded, like in this one. This Archimbold uh, is the correct one here. Gusip Archimbold. The previous painting was by this guy, who is also, we have covered one more painting. I think the spring is here, or yeah, this is the correct painting. Spring earlier was wrong loading, but this loading is correct here. This is he has worked various season like summer, winter, spring, and use the fruit, trees, human faces. So very strange kind of a painter, but can be asked because the only painter who uses these fruit and other thing to form various shape of human faces. So this Archimbold is another guy, can be asked, because he is totally different from the rest of the world. His style is totally different. Like that pointillism guy, he is another one who is a little different in his style. So again, you can forget this one. Red Kana can be asked. Again, very famous painting by this lady called Georgia O'Keeffe. This is a lady painter, Georgia O'Keeffe, and let me show you the one. This is the one. This red kana could be a very, very important painting to be asked in the examination point of view. For some strange reason, this painting is popular because maybe it's color style or subject. I don't know. But if they will choose one painting of Georgia O'Keeffe, it will be the red kana. 77. Farida Kahlo, Without Hope, one of the painters, surrealistic painter of her time, married to that French guy, which I told you. So this is a little strange painting, but that's the way she is. So Without Hope is Farida Kahlo. And then coming to the 3rd of May, Francisco Goya. Again, you can see this killing going on and all. So very revolutionary kind of a painting. 3rd of May. Okay. Berlin street scene. Again, this is another interesting painter from, I think it was German. So Ernest Ludwig Kirchner. So let me just show you the image. Again, very stylish in his style of painting. This is just the one. But if you see the original work of this guy is quite a interesting work, Kirchner. Nighthawk, another American painter, which is the most famous, Edward Hopper. He has inspired many people in terms of his style of painting. At least one, you should see it. And if you find the time or later on, any of his work can be asked. He's the only painter whose all the work is so famous that any work can be asked. So Nighthawk is another Edward Hopper's work. And you can see that very stark lighting style of that patch of light falling over there, you know. So Edward Hopper is one which is quite well known in the international market among the various painters. As I said, that not so many people have made it from America, but whosoever has made it, he's really made it big. So again, the Waterlily Pond is a long series of this painter called Monet, and very detailed work uh, on the kind of painting he has done. So this is just one. There are few others also. If you see the original one, this is not very good one in terms of reproduction, and because this is a website, so they already reduce the size and pixels, so you don't get that vibrancy. But if you see the high resolution image of this, it's really amazing. The Waterley Pond series are famous, and there is quite a probability that they might pick up this Claude Monet. Again, coming to Olympia, and again Edward Manet. This is, you could see this black lady carrying the flowers and this nude women. So Olympia can also be asked, not because of the nudity, but this is really a famous one. Edward Manet is one of the famous painting. And there's another, this museum is also not that big like over, but Musée d'Orsay is again a famous museum where this painting is kept. Okay, dancing class. As I said, the dance, if you don't remember anything, remember the Edgar Degas and put it blindly over there. Chances are that it is his painting. Though there are other painters also who has done the dance, so don't be under the impression he's the only one who has done it. But dancing class, just a trial. If you don't know, you don't remember the exact name of other painters' painting, so that could be. This is again Wonder Above the Sea of the Fog is a well-known painting. Whenever we talk about the Caspar David Friedrich, one painting which represent Caspar David Friedrich's work is Wonder Above the Sea, and how the man is position is also important. You can see he's looking into the fog and mountains, and the kind of, the perspective is being created, the darkness in the front and the brightness in the background, the contrast as such in terms of the lighting, but still you can see the details over there. It's not just black and white. There's so much of detailing is being done. So this is one of the most famous painting when we talk about the Casper. Okay. The Supper at Emanas Caravaggio is a painter who has done a lot of work in the source lighting, very high contrast work. You could see the source of the light coming and the very strong shadows. One of his style is source lighting means hard light, and that's why you see the strong shadows. Even the hand shadow, shadow in the back of the wall, always the hard shadows are being created whenever you see a so remember the name of this man called Caravaggio, and for some strange reason, I have a feeling that he could be a potential person to be asked. Okay, again the same guy, Caravaggio, David with the head of Goliath, again a famous painting. You could see that how strong and feelings are there over here. Again a high contrast, source of light, source lighting. 87 again. Coming to the similar man, I have included 3-4 painting of this guy Caravaggio. So Saint Germain in his study. So again, you can see the source of light and how that skull is there and he's studying something. Again, Caravaggio. Question number 88. Caravaggio's work again. Entombment of Christ. Recently, if you have noticed some reels here and there in Holland, some mall they picked up certain areas and some theater artist dressed up like this, and they created a pose of certain painting which are popular. So this pose of the Caravaggio was also created by them in that mall. So I don't know whether you have seen those short reels or not, but this is also is that famous a painting that somebody picked up to recreate in a mall. The Entombment of Christ. Okay. This particular painting we have included of the Camille Pissarro because the Garden of the Tuileries is his famous work. Let me just show the painting first. Okay. So you could see the detailing in terms of the number of people spread over the big area, huge area. And again, the perspective thing because the trees he has created. So people have painted the life at large in the park and some recreational areas and street also. So Camille Pissarro is famous for such kind of a work. Now this painting 90 I have included for a very simple reason because sometime certain kind of miniature and other kind of work is also being included. So who made the famous painting Akbar's Adventure with the Elephant Hawaii in 5061? So Basavan and Chetar are the two people. So you could see this miniature work and how detailed small. So miniature has always this style of doing such kind of a work. So this is also being included here. Indian work, but again famous for in that time when the not Indian work was more famous. It was only the European people who has captured the thing. So again, self-portrait as La Pittura by again the same lady Artemisia Gentilisi. Let me show you the painting. Okay, this is a painting. That was a painter, and this is a painting. Okay. Who made the famous painting Charles I on horseback? Now, certain painters, not so many I have included, but this one, Anthony Van Dyck, is one which is this Van Dyck is a very popular surname over there in Holland. Like the one famous animator Celia Van Dyck, Gerrit Van Dyck are the two one names I remember these connected with this painter. So Anthony Van Dyck, Charles I on horseback. This is the one the painting we are talking about. Again, 93, Marilyn. Again, the Andy Warhol we were talking about on that day, that work of the Andy Warhol. Marilyn Monroe, he picked up, and how he used this stylized work. This is how the artist look like. So Andy Warhol could be asked because pop art, he was a leader among the pop art. So the great piece of turf. Again, this painting, if you see the original one, it is very, very detailed, and this is the only painter we have included, this Albert Dürer, and just the nature. So this name you need to remember, the great piece of turf. Again, I think this Artemisia gentilisi, again this Judith slashing the Holofernes. Very violent painting, but somehow it is famous. Again, this Anthony Van Dyck, Queen Henrietta Maria with Sir Geoffrey Hudson and a monkey. You could see this painting. Very interesting shades of blue, and this a little bit of crushes on the cloth are being very truthfully reproduced, and this little kid and this monkey. I don't know how they put the monkey over here, and the details in the golden is very amazing. Gold is always difficult to paint. So 97, who made the famous painting? Portrait of Isabella Brandt. Again, Anthony Van Dyck. And let me show you the image. This is the one. Baptism of Christ. Again, not a very well-known painter, but Andreas del Verico is the one, and this painting somehow is well-known. This is the guy, and this is the painting. You could see how this enlightenment, this light coming on the top and all that, they have done it. Little strange way of doing it, but probably this is the way the baptism they used to do. Okay, the sea is another popular painting. Most of you must have heard about this painting. And Alexander Wieski is the painter. This is the guy he looked like. And this is the painting. Very simplistic, a small boat and all that, but somehow this also made it in the history of top 10, top 100. Okay, the allegory with the Venus and the Cupid is again not that famous a painting, but people knows about it, and somehow many people have included in 100 painting. So Bronzino is the guy who did this. I remember the second name, first name is a little difficult. Let me just put it you to the image. This is the painting. This is another one with little better color reproduction. So color are the very, very important thing. So this covered the 100 game. If you have a question, you can ask. Otherwise, I will pick up something else to cover. Indian painters also, let me just quickly consider this. Amrita Shergill first. Which of the following? Now, this is a, just give me a moment. Let me close the door. Somebody is there. Just give me a moment. Okay. So most of these paintings by Amrita Shergill are there, and one of them is not the one. So this was, in a way, I wanted to tell you the three names of the thing. So this, which among the following is not a painting by Amrita Shergill? It is a Glow of Hope is not the one. Rest of these painting are by Amrita Shergill. Bride's Toilet is already being asked. Sumer is one. Hillwoman is another one. Let me just show you quickly how they look like. This is a painter. This is the one. This is that bride's toilet I was talking about, and this is the another one. So three paintings I have included of this lady, and not many other are there in Indian section. FTIL Munai, this is the one. Miscellaneous. Okay, miscellaneous. I have also included some two or other painting. So this is one, and in miscellaneous, these two paintings are being included. Uh, Perhaps, but I think we have already covered that. But that was different one, and this is a different one. Who among the following is not a famous painter of Mughal period? So Mir Taqi Mir, everybody knows, is a poet and not a painter. So the rest of these three people are non in the Mughal period. And this another is Bengal School of Art. So who among the following is the among the following is not a significant name in the emergence of Bengal School of Art? So KCS Panikar is not the name. Rest of all these three people are well-known name. Jamini Roy is have a very particular style of his painting, and of course Rabindranath Tagore and Havel. So these are the two other names I have included. Not many. Actually, I wanted to work on that, but somehow I could not. So Raja Ravi Verma's work also we can just consider. Three names I have included here. Everybody knows these. So two painting we had covered in that 101, and three we have covered here. There comes Papa. So this is again Ravi Verma. Let me just enlarge this painting. Then Stolen Interview. This is another painting. Raja Ravi Verma is one of the star painter from our Indian context, from the, I mean, from ancient time. The Milkmaid is also again a famous painting by this guy. So these are the three paintings I have included in terms of Indian painter. The photography I will quickly go through also. The international photographers can be asked. Uh, you should know not about their work, but what they can do is they can quickly say that who among the following is a photographer. Okay, so all these big name I have included over here just to simplify the thing. Now Yusuf Khurram is a very is an unknown person, is not a but just to confuse you with the Yusuf Karash, I have added this name. So Arnold Newman, everybody knows, famous man. Yusuf Karash is a famous photographer. Irving Penn is a photographer. Yusuf Khurram is not a photographer. He's just a friend of mine. I have put it over there as an SD graduate actor, but his name sound first same similar. So three are big people in terms of world internationally renowned photographer. Now this is a little tricky question, but since it is Barbara Streisand, so today when I was preparing some question on the Barbara Streisand, she has a very distinct identity because of some particular reason. So who shot the coffee table book on Barbara Streisand? Just a moment. So this two people, Steve Shapiro and Lawrence Schiller. Now let me just show you quickly the photo book. This is the name. This is the title of the book. Again, this publication Taschen, as I told you, is a very well known, reputed publication. Even I have bought around 30-40 books of this particular publication. Very good reproduction. So again, this name you need to remember when you remember the coffee table book. Is a well-known coffee table book of its time. Again, बीटल्स के ऊपर जो काम है वो हैरी बेंसन का काम है. Let me just show you the quickly. This is the interesting cover of that book. This is the photographer. Okay. So all these names, Ansel Adams is famous, Mary Ellen Mark is famous, Henry Cartier-Bresson is famous. All these people are famous also. But somebody who did the work on the Beetle is Harry Benson. See, Harry Benson is not that big a name like other three names. Surprisingly, Ansel Adams is big name. Mary Ellen Mark is big name. Henry Carter Besson is big name. Harry Benson is not that big a name. But since it is a book on Beatles, so it becomes important. So question number 4. One of the pop group members of Beatles, the photo collection called Paul, is shot by well-known photographer. Again, the same thing which I have put it in a different manner. Harry Benson. Another book, Paul. Okay. Her Majesty the Queen is a coffee table book shot by David Bailey. I could not find the cover. I think this is the cover. No, this was not the cover. But anyway, somehow I asked him to load the thing. It is not there. All these things. Dorothy Lang is again a famous photographer. Man Ray is a famous photographer. Okay, so David Bailey is a fashion photographer, and again, different way of formulating a question. The architecture photography, industrial photography, food photography. So, is a fashion. Ansel Adams is known for which system? As we were discussing with the cinematography student, zone system he has created, in which there are various zones, and he is known for that. Very famous photographer, star among the black and white photography. Marilyn and Me is again Lawrence Schiller. This is the cover again by the Taschen publication. Okay. So Roger Deakin, the well-known cinematographer, has also done a book. That's why I included it. So Byways is the name of the book of photographs taken by. This is the opening cover of that Roger Dickens. Particularly cinematography student, this could be asked. Not his work of cinematography, but maybe the book, because that's a little off. Cinematographer not normally do not come out with a book of still photographs, but sometime is good. Ansel Adams is associated with painting, photography, pop art, sculpture. Everybody knows photography. So this finishes the photography section. So I'm also a little tired. It's already 11:04. So we have covered today the painting, photography section, and also not to mention the Indian cinema. So if somebody has a question, you can ask it. I will pause the recording first.